Hello, welcome to Dev Unstuck. I'm Manny. Today I'm going to talk about how I convert data from very confusing layouts uh, into CSV files or spreadsheet tables. All the code discussed in this video will be posted on GitHub. And I'll include a link in the description as well to a blog post on devunstuck.com, which is essentially the same as what I'm covering. So sometimes page designers choose to use unclear and opaque layouts to convey quantitative data points, which would have been more easily digestible in a table format. Instead, the data ends up scattered across non-tabular HTML container elements, and that forces us to scroll back and forth on the page if we want to analyze or draw comparisons between the related rows of data. And one such example is Salesforce's Idea Exchange platform, and it serves as a good example of this issue. This is a site where customers and developers can share, discuss, and vote on ideas for new features or improvements to the Salesforce product suite. There are thousands of open ideas, and each one of those ideas is rendered within a little stylized block where all the relevant bits of data are spread out in a way which resist quick comparison without a bunch of scrolling. And I can only squeeze a handful of issues onto a single screen of my 4K monitor at a time. So let's fix that. Using a Chromium-based browser, open the developer tools. Next, inspect the HTML element which contains the row data and look for a class name, attribute, or some other identifier shared in common with all the containers. Then use the JavaScript function of the document query selector all to get all the containers. In the case of Idea Exchange, the container elements have the data cloud name attribute. So I use that. Next, inspect the HTML for the data points we want to extract. Again, looking for class names, attributes, and other criteria which could be used to match all occurrences. In Idea Exchange, for example, I noticed the number of points or votes matches the data number attribute. Next, loop through all the container rows. Again, using document query selector all to match all the elements which share that common attribute identified in the previous step. Then we want to get the text values from all those matched or data point elements, and in each of those matched elements, replace any commas as necessary. I just used the JavaScript replace function, and I basically put an empty character where the commas were, because we don't want those to mess up our columns in the CSV. Our last but one step is in each loop through all the container elements, we want to output the text values of the data points and separate each output using a comma. For this, console.info works nicely to print a list right into the developer console. And once that list looks good, just copy and paste the comma separated values into a text file and save it with the .csv extension. Or you could also just paste the results directly into a spreadsheet and split into columns on the commas. And that's it. On the plus side, these opaque data layouts give us a good excuse to peek under the hood, especially for like enterprise websites. I'm just curious, outside of web scraping tools, how other people disentangle this data. And if you've had similar issues getting that information online, please do share in comments. All right, I hope this helped. Bye for now.